Equinox Fitness with Keith Ires, who is basically the king of Equinox in Southern California.
The Prince.
The Prince. He does it all. We manage group fitness through all of Southern California, which is why the classes are so good. So I thought today that since I talked so much about spinning, but haven't really shown you how to set up your bike if you want to do it on your own, that Keith could give us a step-by-step instruction of the proper way to set up your bike.
Cool.
Yeah.
This bike is the Schwinn bike. That's the bike that we have in all the Equinox clubs, and it's a bike, we love this bike. I think it's the best quality bike that's out there, and it's sort of the gold standard of bikes. The way that I have people set their bike up is I have them step up alongside the saddle, and Mary's going to step up and show you. There are two ways that you can do it. You can actually just sort of feel your hip joint, or if you don't really know where the hip joint exactly starts and finishes, I have people lift their knees straight up as high as they can, pretty much out of the hip. And that is where you want to have the height of the saddle set up. So you can lower the saddle until it hits about that place. And a better test of this is when you're up on the bike, you want to make sure that when you pedal to the bottom of the pedal stroke, that your knee doesn't lock out.
Not like this.
Yeah, and at the top of it, it doesn't come higher than a 90-degree angle. So if you remember, like 90 degrees, if you're hyperflexing the knee, if it comes up too high, you'll feel that. So you want to be safely between less than 90 and not locked out at the bottom. And you'll get a sense of feeling that when you go to the pedal
I always
stroke.
remember the holes. Like I use 3 holes.
Yes,
I
that's
know
exactly
what the number
right.
is, but I just know the holes. Okay.
Yeah, on these bikes, there's little numbers on the side and there's holes, so whatever way that you can remember it.
And then my seat.
The seat, I think that for almost everybody that's in the ballpark of our height, that we should set it on 5. That's pretty much, yeah, 5 is pretty much right. And why that is that the way that you're extending forward from the hip joint, you want to get to the handlebars and be pretty relaxed. You don't want to feel like you're reaching for them, and you also don't want to feel like you're too close to them, so you'll tend to like shrug these upper traps and get all up in your neck and stuff. So a 5 is good for almost everybody. If I have a particularly tall person, I'll set them back 1. They're pretty much, yeah, a really tiny outline, but there's not a lot of wiggle room in terms of where people need to sit.
Your arms are like this.
Yes,
Your hands
exactly.
are right here. This is in the saddle.
So this looks like a great position for Mary.
Exactly how I said it.
Yeah.
He said it up perfectly.
And I always keep the handlebars a little higher than the saddle. If you see real cyclists working these classes, sometimes they lower them to the
They're all
exact
the way down
height.
here. Why are they down here?
Because that's, if you think about it, it's a more aerodynamic position if you're riding outside. So if you're Lance Armstrong, you're going to get into that most aerodynamic position. But for what we do in here, most of us aren't built to support that. And then when we get off the bike, you're like, okay, now my shoulders are rounded. You have to do exercises to draw your shoulders back. Nobody wants poor posture. So I take them up high enough so that you're in a relaxed position, but not shrugging up. Just keep
And
it
it
down.
supports your back when it's higher. So if you're new, it's easier to hold your form when
And that
you're
looks
higher.
perfect.
This is exactly how I sit actually. So I have a bad back, so I always keep the handlebars really high. And then when you come up, you're here, and your abs are in. Your abs are the key. The abs for a second. It's the key to holding yourself. It's not in your legs. It's all right here, and that's what moves you up and back. It's all in my abs, not my legs.
Yeah, if you really support with your abs, you should, and then put enough resistance on the wheel, you should never feel like you're sort of dumping into the bottom of the pedal stroke. If you feel like you're hitting the bottom of the pedal stroke, you've essentially made an activity that should be really low or non-impact into an impact activity that's sort of hitting the bottom too hard. The wheel should actually counterbalance your body weight and sort of find where that works best.
And my abs are still in right here. So I'm pedaling, and I'm not bouncing, even if I go really, really fast. I'm not bouncing in the saddle because my abs are in. So these are just some basic things to take in because sometimes the instructor, doesn't have time to show you exactly how to do it. But form is key to spinning. And once you learn how to hold yourself, it won't be so hard, and you'll be able to find rhythm and dance on the bike and have fun.
Absolutely. And that looks good, right?
Thanks, Keith.